Welcome back. In this video, what you're going to be doing is making a base cabinet in Inventor. So I have 4 files for you already. All you are going to do is assemble it with these 4 files. So you're going to see that we have the base cabinet drawer. We've got the cabinet, so the drawer goes on top. Then there's going to be a door on the bottom that will swing open and swing closed. And we also have a handle that we're going to be able to use for the drawer. So that is going to go on the drawer itself. So to be able to assemble these, the first thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to go to Assembly, open that. Wait for it. Alright, now what we're going to do is we can use that place command and we can find our items. So I just have mine on my desktop, cabinet, and I can just highlight all 4, click open. If I click once, then there will be one instance of each part. Some of them may be inside of each other. We'll have to figure that out as we go. Then I click OK to get out of the command. So you're going to see I have the handle, we've got the base cabinet, we've got the drawer, and the door. First thing I want to do is I'm going to go to that base cabinet, and I find it in the side menu, and I can ground it. That way it will not move anywhere, and whenever I put things on there and move them around, I'll be able to know where everything is. Alright. Now I'm going to start using my constraints. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fully constrain a drawer. So for the drawer, I'm just going to take one of the sides and set it up to the back here. Apply that. You're going to see it was a little offset to the side. So I'm going to click on this side, that side, apply, and then it looks like it's in the right spot. But unfortunately I got to get out of this command so I can move it so I can see what I need to do next. So last but not least, I can pick either the top or the bottom of the drawer and have it mate to its respective side on there. Hit apply, I get out of that command, and then we're going to see, is it fully constrained? So if I click and I hold on it, it doesn't move. So next thing I want to do is I want to get that drawer to open and close. So we had our drawer. If I hit the plus sign on it, I can see all 3 constraints that are on it. Now that's the one to the top, this is the one to the side, and that's the one to the back. So I want to right click and I want to edit this one. We've got a double arrow here, so I can actually have a greater than or less than window. So I want to be greater than window. I want to put on a max and a min, and our max will be 20, min will be 0 if it's going in the correct direction. If it's going in the reverse direction, it'll have to be 0 and negative 20. But won't know until we hit OK. So if I click on it and hold, I can pull it out, and then I close the drawer. So the drawer is working just fine. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain the door, and this one can get a little tricky. I'm going to constrain it in place first. So I'm going to go for the edge this time. I'm not clicking on a face, just the edge, and then the edge on the cabinet I want it to be attached to. I'm going to click apply, and then it's there on the edge and it will spin around and go up and down. So the next constraint that I really want is I want the top of this, and we're going to have it match up right there. I'm going to click apply, then we're going to get out of the command just so we can see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and it just keeps flipping all through. What we want is we want it to close and then we want it to open without going through the cabinet in either direction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use one of our angle commands. And the one I normally like to use is the third one because it has the most amount of restrictions on it, so that I can get everything set up and it will work for me in the manner that I'm hoping for. So if I click on one side, click on the other, I have now clicked my two faces, so first selection, second selection, and then I have the reference vector. So this is where I'm rotating around. So right where I had them go, that's where it rotates around. Now you're going to see it set up. That's 0 degrees. So now I can add a max and a min to get this to close. And I'm just guessing, but to close it is probably a negative 90. We'll find out in just a second here. Once I apply this, I went the wrong direction. So what I can do is I can just go back to that constraint, my angle with a plus and minus on it, go back to edit, and I could turn this one to 90, and I could turn this one to 0. Then I click OK. Now you're going to see it. Oh, something happened. Edit. Oh, it didn't accept my commands. Went 0 and 0. Alright, we've got 90 and 0. Okay. There we go. Now it opens and closes. So I've got everything but the handle set up so far. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to get this set in the middle of our drawer. So I'm going to go ahead, constrain, zoom in here. I first want to get it on the drawer. Now one thing that gets tricky is some people don't put the constraints on the drawer, they do it on the rest of the cabinet. That way the handle would stay there while you move the drawer. But I pulled out the drawer to make sure that I can get it set up so that it will be only on the drawer. So I'm going to apply this, and then I'm going to want to flip it the correct direction so it's flat on the surface already. Now I want to flip it so that I get one of these sides up, and let's get it down to about the center of the cabinet drawer. Let's put it about 2 inches down. Hit apply. And you're going to see that now that will slide side to side, but the rest of the directions are great. So the trick on this one is when you're constraining, it's got to be a mate. You're going to click on a flat surface, and then we're going to click on the edge on this side. So now from there I can offset it. This drawer is 22 inches wide, which means 9 inches should work setting it in the correct direction unless it's going the opposite way, which this time it is. So I need to go -9. It's on the center. I click apply. I get out of that command. You're going to see that it only moves now with the drawer. So I've got the drawer that opens and closes and the door that opens and closes. And that is it for this presentation. Have fun.